Subscribe, like, and share.
Hello, my friends. Hope all is well with all. Let's just say this city has big problems. Watch to the end. I have some news on upcoming stories plus a surprise you will not want to miss. But until then, enjoy. See you at the end. Cheers. The sky over Tokyo was a crisp, clear blue, promising a beautiful day. People went about their business oblivious to the looming threat beneath the ocean's surface. It began as a faint rumble, a tremor that barely registered in the consciousness of the bustling metropolis. But as the minutes ticked by, the tremors grew stronger, shaking buildings and sending ripples across the harbor. The first sign of true danger came when the water itself seemed to rise, not in waves but in massive, towering columns. From these watery pillars, enormous shapes began to emerge, glistening with seawater and glowering with malevolent intent. Giants, tall as skyscrapers and varied in appearance, began to break free from the ocean's grasp, their colossal forms casting long, dark shadows over the city. The first giant to fully emerge was a behemoth, easily over 200 feet tall, with rough, rocky skin and eyes that glowed like molten lava. It let out a guttural roar, a sound that reverberated through the entire city, freezing its inhabitants in place. Panic erupted as people scrambled to flee, their screams mingling with the deep, menacing roars of the giants. From the harbor to the heart of Tokyo, giants of different sizes and shapes began their assault. One was covered in barnacles and seaweed, its movements slow and deliberate, yet no less destructive. Another was sleek and serpentine, its scales shimmering with an otherworldly light as it slithered between buildings, smashing them to rubble with its powerful coils. Buildings crumbled like sandcastles, glass shattering in explosive bursts as the giants rampaged through the city. Cars were tossed aside like toys, their metallic frames crumpling underfoot. The air was filled with the cacophony of destruction, screams, crashes, and the relentless roars of the giants. In the chaos, people sought refuge wherever they could. Some ran towards subway stations, hoping the underground would offer some protection. Others huddled together in parks, their eyes wide with terror as they watched the giants advance. Emergency services struggled to keep up, their sirens wailing futilely against the overwhelming force of the invaders. At Shibuya Crossing, one of Tokyo's most iconic landmarks, a group of giants converged. Each one was unique. One had multiple arms, each ending in claws that could tear through steel. Another had a single cyclopean eye that shot beams of searing energy, incinerating everything in its path. The ground shook violently as they clashed with the city's defenses, military vehicles and helicopters trying desperately to halt their progress. But bullets and missiles seemed to do little more than annoy the giants, their thick hides impervious to conventional weaponry. Near the Tokyo Tower, a particularly fearsome giant standing at nearly 300 feet made its presence known. Its body was covered in what looked like volcanic rock, and it spewed fire from its mouth, setting entire blocks ablaze. The tower, a symbol of Tokyo's modernity and resilience, stood no chance. The giant wrapped its massive hands around the structure, tearing it from its foundation and hurling it into the distance, where it crashed in a fiery explosion. Among the chaos, a small group of scientists and engineers huddled in a makeshift command center, frantically trying to understand where these giants had come from and how they could be stopped. Dr. Nakamura, a leading expert in marine biology, stared at the screens showing live footage of the destruction. These creatures, they're not just mindless beasts, he muttered. They have a purpose. But what is it? As the giants continued their rampage, it became clear that Tokyo would not survive without a drastic solution. The Prime Minister, desperate and out of options, authorized the use of an experimental weapon, a massive electromagnetic pulse device designed to disable electronic systems. The hope was that it might also disrupt whatever energy source was driving the giants. With the device set up on a rooftop overlooking the harbor, a team of soldiers prepared for its deployment. The countdown began, each second stretching into eternity as the giants closed in on their location. When the pulse finally fired, a wave of energy swept across the city, momentarily turning night into day. The giants roared in unison, their bodies convulsing as the energy washed over them. For a moment it seemed to work. The giants paused, their movements sluggish and uncoordinated, but then, with a renewed fury, they resumed their assault. The weapon had failed. Tokyo's last hope had been extinguished. As night fell, the giants continued their rampage, reducing the once vibrant city to a smoldering ruin. The survivors, battered and broken, could only watch in horror as the giants roamed freely, their intentions still a terrifying mystery. In the days that followed, the world would come to know the true power and wrath of the ocean's giants. Tokyo, a city of dreams and innovation, lay in ruins, a grim reminder of the fragility of human civilization in the face of nature's untamed fury. So I have decided, because of all this faceless channel crap going around, I am gonna pop the real me in beginning or end of story randomly here and there, so I am not so much of a faceless channel anymore. Even though the character I am is actually me, this really is me, but it is a bit animated, so I thought it'd be cool to do that. And that will start on next story. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the story. I thought I did a good job. Tell me what you think in the comments. Subscribe if you have not already. Smash that like button and share anywhere and everywhere. It is much appreciated. See you on the next one, which will be Friday, my friends. See you on the dark side. Sweet nightmares.
Twisted Tales.